hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you're trying to go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Coach, the city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the ladder when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
I got you. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Check 9. Hey.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Shift. Kill. Check 99.
Back to Mixon on first down. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the 40-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
What we got?
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The Giants take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Here we go. Check three. Check it backer.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. On the counter, here's Jones. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to fire this thing deep right side. And got his man complete. Give him 35 yards there on the 3rd down conversion.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
I'm coming. Mike 51. Here we go.
To throw on 3rd down, Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Joe Mixon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now it's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Snickers, that's spin. That's a what? Check 13. Check 13.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Snickers. 80 weapons. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. 25.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That's it, baby.
The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
White 80. Mike 58 right there. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Looking deep downfield. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And it's taken in at the 9. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach it.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To throw is Jackson. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league.
And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10, looks like he's running to get into the top 5.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And they try to sweep to Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one, and I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Let's go, defense. Look basic. Slam.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
58, boys, 58.
Now Roethlisberger. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Myles Garrett just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Middle. Easy. Right over there. Yeah. Let's go.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 24, Roethlisberger will find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation. would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Check your hot read. Whip. Watch the whip.
They give to Nixon to try to pick it up. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. And this one is right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
First down, New York.
This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Here's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Jackson throwing again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because We often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Jackson from the shotgun. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Second and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A 61-yard
And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. First and 10. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And it'll make this a second and long.
Black 20. Yes, Mike. All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this will complete to Will Fuller. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is third down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to find his man. That's Tavon Austin. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
230.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant. Watch the slant, watch the slant. 58, right over there, right over there. Hey, Charlie. Right there. Watch the run, watch the run.
On 2nd and 7, Roethlisberger. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Darren Waller, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect. And nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Geno Atkins got home that time.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up. From the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Austin. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
180. 158's the mic. Watch the twist, watch the twist. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. Check 16. Check. Fresno, Fresno. 8.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Devin Bush. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd.
Silver. 58's the mic. 58. Exit. Too little.
Roethlisberger will throw. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Giants will get it now at the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
First down for the Giants as they pick up 12 from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So don't say nothing.
Now on 2nd and 13. Jackson, and he rifles one incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
51 the mic, boy, 51. Rotate, Bill. Alert flare, flare.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Giants on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Throwing is Jackson. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Ready? Block 80! Here's Mike. I got you. No foul! Kill. Tighten up.
Again, it's Mixon. He'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here we go. Black 5! Watch the curl.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked.
Watch that. Check 37. Easy.
Now Joe Mixon. Only 2 yards on the pickup there, and now they're looking at a long third down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Eagles on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He shakes him off and fights through one man. Flush to his right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
13 yards, good for a Giant first down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. This is Jones. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Giants. Ronald Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Giants offense cashes in with 6. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 28-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Mixon. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here. Not done in the 4th. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former 1st-round pick there on the coverage.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Jackson. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. from 21 yards away, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Gold with the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Get this. Sponge. No,
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Blue 30. 58, come on. These 2. 50. 58, right over there. Hey, high 7. Check mine.
Roethlisberger, he's going to float this one deep right side. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defensive coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now because he saw that happen during his coaching career. And he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. Now a first down carry by Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th.
Let's go. You tighten up.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Mike 51. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the
From the 22, Jackson open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. He will push his way down to about the 14. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
The Eagles 14-yard line.
He'll look to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants have taken the lead. Gould able to tack on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
On first down, Mixon. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. The first throw for the backup Griffin. This pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead.
Next to score, Eagles 24.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Von Miller in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is finally out of bounds, but not before taking it down inside the 30.
It's a gain of 56 yards. First down, New York.
Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right down Broadway. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside, or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Let's get it together, defense. That's it.
To throw again. Griffin. He finds Austin complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll run on first down. Mixon, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it, because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses, because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
What will they draw up to try to keep this opening drive of overtime moving? 3rd and 7. Now it's Griffin. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. He'll look to set up his blockers. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tied. Again, it's Jones. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down. This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Jackson on 3rd and long. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light still on for him.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 35-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
They'll go again to Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
And it's 3rd down.
Let's go. Touchdown. You ain't going nowhere. Slam.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Come on, set. Come on, 18 gator. Watch the curve. Watch the curve. Shit. Check 3.
On 1st down, Jones. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Jamal Shear down the stop. 1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the Eagles' 28-yard line.
Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So now it'll all come down to Robbie Gould. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Giants win the football game. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about. A long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for the Giants, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.